last night we had a cold front roll through. It's about 26 degrees right now. I think the high's supposed to be 39, so it's just a picture perfect day for the rut. In a spot I've hunted quite a bit. First time in here this year, but I hunted it a handful of times last year and did pretty well. If the morning goes well and I see some deer, I'll probably sit here all day. If not, I'll have to reevaluate and figure out where else I want to go. But as of right now, the plan is to be sitting here all day. It's the afternoon of the 12th. I plan on sitting all day this morning, but with me not seeing anything, I decided that I might as well relocate and figure out what I'd think is a better spot to go to. I had a scrape that I found about 2 weeks ago when I sat that ridge, and I wanted to check to see if that's been hit, and it hasn't. But I'm on the complete opposite side of the property from where I was this morning. Didn't end up seeing anything this morning. Got down at about 11 o'clock and went home, had lunch for about 45 minutes, and came back out here about 1 o'clock, 1:30. But ever since I got down this morning, it started snowing. And it just stopped about 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. When I was first getting set up, I actually had 2 yearling does stand up at about 80 yards. And they worked their way down to me, bedded down behind me about 35 yards away. They stayed there for about an hour. And they just recently worked off the ridge and moved off, so I got about an hour left. Hopefully this rain and snow holds off. It's supposed to start again at 5, but I'm hoping it holds off. It's the afternoon of November 13th. I'm actually sitting at the house tonight on the complete opposite side of the property than where I've been hunting. My dad actually sat here a couple times earlier this week and did pretty good. Kept seeing a pretty big 8-point, just never came close enough for a shot. But I'm sitting right here in this cedar thicket, about 90 yards off the road to my south. You can hear a car going by, I'm sure. And when I was first getting set up, I was just to the top, about to set my platform, and I looked down about 80 yards off the edge of that thicket, and a doe stood up. And at that point I knew I had to hurry because I really felt like there was something with her. As I was pulling my bow up, the big 8 that my dad's been seeing stood up about 10 yards from around the middle of this grass and started chasing her off. And once they started working off, another buck came out of the thicket and followed them. A couple minutes later, another buck stood up from dead center of the grass, just out in the middle of nowhere. No trees, nothing, just out in the middle of the grass. So they started chasing all over the place, and then another buck came out, and then there's deer just running everywhere. Never had the 2 big bucks come within range. They stayed out to about 80 yards. I had 2 of the other ones coming to about 20 yards. But this whole time I'm trying to get set up. Like I said, I was just pulling my bow up, didn't have the camera set up, didn't have the base on the tree, nothing. So it was chaos. 2 nice 8-points. The one was way bigger than the other one, but I would have shot both of them, that's for sure. It's been a pretty good morning so far. A couple bucks and a handful of does. About 10 minutes ago, I had that buck from earlier in the morning come in. He snuck in on me pretty good. For the most part, I've been able to hear every deer coming before I can see him. But he kind of surprised me pretty good. Didn't see him until he was about 40-45 yards away. He came down like a foot or two inside the cattails, working the edge of it. Walked right through my shooting lane, just there's too much stuff in the way. If you would have been on the edge, I probably would have been able to get a shot at him. But he worked that edge and ended up making a beeline straight to the center of the cattails, and once he got in there far enough, I threw out a couple soft grunts at him, and next thing I know, he was coming straight at me, and sadly he came to the downwind side of these cedars that I'm in, about 10 yards right on the edge of them, and he stood there for a couple minutes. I could just see the bottoms of his legs. But I was that close again.